Hey guys, what is going on? It is Memory here. We are here, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, for day number 11 of the 12 days of anime Christmas Eve. We have today's video, then tomorrow's video being Christmas Day, and then we're done with this event. And actually, speaking of my Christmas Day video, I plan on doing a Q&A to leave off, and it's been a really long time since I've done one of those. I don't even know how long it's been, so that's all I'm going to say. But I thought it would be fun to leave off on that note. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask, drop them down in the comments of this video, or you can tweet me at MemoryNK on Twitter, and that is in the description of every single one of my videos. And I thought it would be a lot easier to do it this way than to have another video in the subscription feed that's like 20-25 seconds long and be like, hey, ask me some questions for the 12 days of anime, and then the video ends. So that's how we're gonna do it. For today's video, for Christmas Eve, I'm gonna be talking about my favorite anime season of the whole year of 2017. And as of right now, I haven't made up my mind, and that's why in this video we're gonna go over each season. I'm gonna talk about the shows that I watched and the shows that I enjoyed. And hopefully by the end of the video, I'll have my decision made. Maybe you're the same way as me, and by the end of the video, you'll have your mind made up as well. Now, obviously, I can't talk about every single show from every single season because I didn't watch everything. I don't think really anybody did, but maybe there's that one person out there, but I'm not going to be able to talk about everything, so keep that in mind. Now, starting off here with the winter season of 2017, we're getting right into it. This was my least favorite of the whole year, without a doubt. And I'm hoping that this upcoming winter season of 2018 can start off 2018 better than this season did, the winter of 2017, because there wasn't much to really like that came out of this season, at least in my opinion. Now, some of the shows I did watch, Konosuba season 2, which I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't at that level that season 1 was. It didn't really bring to me what season 1 brought. And I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, but I just didn't straight out enjoy Konosuba season 2 as much as I did season 1. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I will say, is one of the highlights of the winter season. I enjoy that series a lot, and it's kind of your typical slice of life, but with the whole dragon thing going on there, and Kobayashi being the human, whatnot, it kind of lives a regular life until these dragons come into her life. It was a little nice twist on it, and I did really enjoy that series, especially Kana, So Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I'd say, was a thumbs up. Kuzuno Hankai had a lot of the community, I would say, divided. A lot of people loved it, and then there were people who just couldn't get behind it and didn't really like it. I'm kind of that person in the middle, I'd say, maybe like in between the middle and then liking it. If you guys get what I'm saying, that's kind of how I was about Kuzuno Hankai. Blue Exorcist season 2. Now, it was way better than season 1 in my opinion. I guess they actually followed the manga. There was no filler or anything like that. But even so, I'm just not really the biggest Blue Exorcist fan. It's just kind of your typical shonen. There were some nice moments that I really did enjoy with this second season, and it was better than season 1, like I said. But overall, just kind of average in my opinion. Masamune-kun's Revenge had an interesting premise. I got behind it at the beginning. It started off pretty well, but when they introduced the short pudgy kid or whatever, whoever he was, I don't even remember his name. I don't want to remember his name because at that point until the end of the series, it was just a train wreck for me. I absolutely didn't like the series, and that was kind of a disappointment for me. Little Witch Academia, I watched the first 10 or 11 episodes, I'd say, which is like the first half of the series, so the winter season. And I really did enjoy Little Witch Academia. I heard it gets way better later on. So like where I was at, I was kind of like around an 8.5 out of 10. So pretty enjoyable, kind of around the same level I'd say as Kobayashi's Dragon Maid for me. Tales of Assyria: The Cross season 2. I don't know, a snooze fest, legit, until the end. At least in my opinion. I mean, so some of the nice moments we got out of here was the ending fight scene. I heard they messed that up though compared to the game. We had the whole thing with Dezel and Rose and what happened with that, how Dezel went out. I did like that, but for the most part, Tales of the Assyria: The Cross season 2 is a complete snooze fest, and season 1 was kind of that way as well, but season 1 was better in my opinion. So yeah, disappointment there. And the savior of the winter season of 2017, if you want to say, I'm saying it, whatever. Rakugo season 2. Now, I wasn't really the biggest fan of season 1. I thought season 1 was average, but season 2 was just a masterpiece. Straight up, one of the best shows of this whole year that I watched. Amazing characters. It's just so well written. And I honestly put it above My Hero Academia Season 2, Attack on Titan Season 2. It was right behind March Comes in Like a Lion Season 2 for my favorite sequel of this whole year. And without Rakugo, I would just say this winter season was garbage, but because of Rakugo, I have to say the winter season was average, but it's still my least favorite. I can say that 100%. Now moving on into the spring season of 2017, we had some real heavy hitters with this season, I must say, and a lot of people, including myself, called this the season of sequels because, oh my goodness, was it? We had Attack on Titan return after 4 years for season 2. We had My Hero Academia season 2, Rage of Bahamut Virgin Soul, which we're just talking about the first core because the second core of Virgin Soul was kind of, especially the last few episodes. So we had that. We had Psychono season 2, we had Eccentric Family season 2, we had Berserk season 2, which say what you want about Berserk 2016 2017 as a whole. As a whole, it's pretty dang bad, but at least the second season of Berserk, or the 2017 version, was a lot better than what we got with the 2016 anime of Berserk. So I will say that we saw the Berserker armor and all that. And also, I can honestly say that each of these sequels, each of these second seasons surpassed what came before them. Like, personally, I enjoyed season 2 of Attack on Titan more than the first season. Same thing with My Hero Academia season 2 in comparison to season 1, and even with all the other sequels that I just mentioned. So we had that. We also had some of the original titles like Recreators and Tsuki ga Kirei, which really impressed me. Tsuki ga Kirei, especially my favorite romance anime of the year, which we see just a middle school couple, and as they progress and they grow together and they open up more together, really beautiful show, very underrated as well. And Recreators, kind of a twist on the whole isekai genre. I like how they did that, and there were some enjoyable characters with that series. The music, incredible animation, art, all that. We had Arrow Manga Sensei, which, even though like, there's a huge fan base behind it and all that, it was a really stupid show, and I think a lot of us can agree on that. But it was still somehow enjoyable. That's how I put Arrow Manga Sensei. Akashic Records, pretty average, but it did do some other things that we haven't saw a lot of other light novel titles do. For the most part, though, it's your typical light novel adaptation. But Glenn as a main character, I absolutely loved Glenn. He was just so badass, and it's so hilarious. So seeing him as a new face in 2017 was pretty sweet. And finally, we had Suka Suka, which just got us all in here, especially towards the end of the series. It wasn't the greatest thing ever by any means, in my opinion, and even how people were hyping it up before the season, whatnot, saying it was going to be the anime of the season. It's not even close to being the anime of the season for me, but it did at the end. It pulled right here, like really tight. So yeah, the spring overall a really good season, way better than the winter. Now going into the summer season of 2017, everyone, we have some titles like Kakaguru, Classroom of the Elite, and Shikoku no Altair, which I'd group all three of those together and saying that they're pretty average. But in comparison to the winter shows that I said were average, I'd actually say that these three shows here surpass those that I mentioned. And also we had Fate Apocrypha, which isn't nearly as good as like Unlimited Blade Works or Fate Zero or anything like that, but there are definitely some things to like about Fate Apocrypha, especially in its characters and the action sequences and all that. Love and Lies, a show that I really wanted to like, but it was just painfully average for me. I despise the main character of that series and how he acts and just how dumb he is. We had Ballroom, which was a highlight, I would say, definitely of the summer season, especially the first core, because me personally, I enjoyed the first core more than the second core. We had Suzure Children, which is my favorite anime short of the whole year. A very adorable series, very hilarious as well. And finally, we had Made in Abyss, which is my pick for best anime of the whole year and best anime of the summer, clearly. So yeah, with that said, the summer season I would say surpasses the winter, but I can't really put it above the spring, to be honest. I just think the heavy hitters that we had in the spring just totally take over what we had in the summer. Okay, so now finally moving into the fall, this decides it all. Ancient Magus Bride, Food Wars season 3, like Ancient Magus Bride, I'm absolutely loving. We're not done with it yet. Food Wars season 3, way better than season 2, and I'd even say season 1. I'd say this was the best season of Food Wars you've had yet, with the whole central thing going down in Arena and Soma, and the whole reveal at the end of that, moving into season 4. Inuyashiki. Now, say what you want about this series, I really did enjoy it. It has a pretty simple story, but the way it focuses on a character who's pretty old, like he's in his 50s or whatever, and how his family treats him, and still what he does in saving people's lives and being a hero and wanting to stop Hero. I really did love that series. Kekai Sensen season 2. Wow, was this second season way better than the first season in my opinion. The first season I think I gave a 7, and I gave this second season a 9. They actually followed the source material apparently, and it showed improved, and even they did a whole staff overhaul, and I guess that worked out because the second season was way more enjoyable than the first season of Kekai Sensen for me. Just because, kind of like a Suki ga Kire and how it deals with like relationships and whatnot, but it's not executed nearly as perfectly as Suki ga Kure does it. But just because it's really a relaxing series, a nice watch. Kino's Journey 2017. Now there's a lot of hate, a lot of people that have problems with this new Kino's Journey series, but I did actually like it for the most part. Now, granted, I haven't watched the original, so that's probably why I enjoyed it more so than if I had watched the original beforehand, but I do need to get to that at some point. Children of the Whales are a very, very underrated series, and I think that's in part to this is going to be on Netflix, and it was relying on fan subs and all that. But Children of the Whales, I really love the setting, and I really love what's going on in Children of the Whales. It actually, I think, wraps up this weekend. So yeah, there's that. Hoseki no Kuni, the gem, the hidden gem of the fall season. Some of the most beautiful art I've watched, and some of the best. I'd probably say actually the best use of 3D animation. March Comes in Like a Lion season 2, my favorite sequel of the year, and Garo Vanishing Line, which is pretty underrated in its own right as well. And I know a lot of people aren't watching that, but it's nothing too crazy in terms of the story. It's a pretty bland story, but it does have a lot of awesome stuff going for it, and its characters and the action sequences and all that, and the music especially as well. So yeah, with all that said, and going over all these shows, honestly, I'd have to say the spring season of this year takes the cake, and how I'd rank them would be summer, or it'd be winter starting as the worst, summer after that, fall, then spring. That would be my lineup, and my main reasoning being I think the sequels in the spring are just too strong for a lot of what we got in the fall, and I think even the standalone ones and the original ones that we had in the spring take over some of the shows in the fall. So yeah, let me know what your guys' favorite season of this whole year was, and kind of let me know your picks and what you watched. Like, kind of break it down how I did with this video, and I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you drop a like, and I'll see you all for the final day of the 12 days of anime. Make sure you drop those questions down in the comments below. Peace out, guys.